Welcome to the mid-inning show, Salil. 163 runs is what RCB has managed to achieve. Highest score at Sharjah by any team.
Yes, I think that batting lineup of RCB really prevailed there today, and scoring 164 not really easy, but special mention to Glenn Maxwell and his contribution, without which this score would never reach this
True.
much. Clearly, they were not on course for 163 at least, but
True.
great effort by him.
Just to point this out, when Maxwell and ABD stitched a partnership of 50 runs, ABD only had 11 runs to himself. So that's the impact that Maxwell has.
Yep, he was early at the crease. He got his eye settled in while playing with Padikkal, and I think he really took it to Harpreet Brar and Ravi Bishnoi in those 2 overs where he hit 4 sixes. So I think that really those 4 sixes clearly turned the game on its head from that point. Purely because Punjab were really, I think they bowled really well right up to
Yeah.
that over till they started getting hit. That's where I think Rahul should have gotten his quicks to get rid of Glenn Maxwell and AB de Villiers as soon as possible, because those are the places where you're most likely not in a position to give away runs,
Yeah.
because the quicks have done better on this ground. But having said that wasn't done, and he got the chance to hit it possibly everywhere like he does, and
Yeah.
brilliant innings there.
The aggression point of view was right there from the start. As the first wicket fell, Dan Christian was promoted up the order. He came one down but could not impact the score at all.
Yep, sadly so for Dan Christian, and I think the intent was there. As you know, we've spoken before. The first 6 overs make a very big difference when it comes to scoring those runs, and Virat Kohli and Devdutt Padikkal did just that.
Yeah.
What I really feel is Punjab slightly missed out on those catches that they dropped. Devdutt
True.
Padikkal was dropped by Rahul of Bishnoi, and Kohli was dropped for an easy sitter by Sarfraz Khan. So I think
Yeah.
these not giving the batsman starts is what you need to do when you are bowling first. I think Punjab failed to capitalize on that. But having said that, after the power play, I think they bowled really well. It wasn't easy
Yeah.
to get the ball away. And at the end of, in spite of a great start, Kohli and Padikkal both have finished with a strike rate of 104 and 105, which is almost a run a ball. It's not really going to make a big difference to the scoring or the run rate required.
Yeah.
But having said that, yes, they sent Dan Christian because clearly one of the bigger hitters, and they wanted to take a risk of him, thinking that how many sixes and fours can you really hit on this ground to get those runs,
Yeah.
right? So, I mean, that sadly didn't work for them, but what worked was what came next, and that was the big show, Glenn Maxwell, and we
Yeah.
know what he's done with his batting today.
You rightly pointed out in the break, there's a very strong 50-50 percentage of the boundaries which were hit, which is one of a kind stat. Please walk
Yep.
us through that, Salil.
Yes, 10 sixes and 10 fours. Not really easy to get away the boundaries, because you need to time them a certain way. You need to connect them, but it's not happening. It's just pure play power hitting there. And you saw even AB de Villiers get into the groove. I think Kohli and Devdutt Padikkal had 3 sixes between them, but 4 huge 6s by Maxwell. I think that made a difference. AB almost got started towards the end, but sadly,
Yeah.
so I think Sarfaraz Khan coming up with a brilliant direct hit for running him out. Otherwise, I don't know, were we looking at 180 or 190 as a score? So, I mean, quite great on that front.
Yeah, we've got the scorecard. Moises Henriques is a surprise package here for Bangalore. And Punjab. And now look at Mohammad Shami's stats. I mean, he's picked up 3 wickets. Excellent. But look at the amount of runs he's given in his 4 overs.
Yes, I mean, the quicks have gone away for runs. The spinners have gone for runs. A few of them were very economic, little like Moises Henriques. I think
Yeah.
he really got them into the game by taking 2 wickets in 2 balls there, Kohli and Christian, and then getting Padikkal also in his next over. So I think that was a great effort by him, and that was the time where you really needed to put on the brakes. And somebody as experienced as Henriques in T20 cricket has just done just that. I think Shami was spraying the ball everywhere.
Yeah.
His 3 wickets were attributed only in the last over there, and
True.
it's not something that you would expect of a Shami, but good part of it was the last four balls that he bowled. After that six, he got hit with he took two wickets. So good job there by Shami towards the end. At least restricting them to a total which they still can believe is possible to get if they bat like how RCB batted.
Right. So, now talking about Punjab's batting, right? They have a classical opening pair in KL Rahul and Mayank Agarwal. And, a couple of changes that they have. And, they've still backed Markram the way he's been batting. He's a solid 20-30 getter for them. So, your views about them, please?
Well, I think that their batting lineup looks stronger now. Now that the question of Chris Gayle is not there anymore. I think Chris Gale's resting now. So you have Aiden Markram, who's also been an under 19 World Cup winning captain. So clearly, he's one of those young or middle-aged South African batsmen that you need to look into. He bowls the first over. He's a brilliant fielder. Did a couple of great fieldings to save some runs for his team. He clearly can be that middle anchor that they really require. Probably
Yeah.
if Rahul and Mayank are thinking that 6 overs is when we need to get these 8 or 10 boundaries,
Yeah.
appeals for fours and sixes, they'll try to get at least half of them in the power play and try to be at least 50 runs or 55 runs in the first 6 overs. Now, they're definitely going to go for it.
Yeah.
Markram provides that balance that this Punjab team has with a Rahul, Mayank Agarwal, a
Nicholas
Puran
Puran, the
playing.
Shah Rukh Khan. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Although he's not come through, a Nicholas Puran, Shah Rukh Khan, Sarfraz Khan, all these
Yeah.
boys are big hitters, including Henriques.
Yeah.
So clearly they have a lot of firepower. They are batting deep, and expect them to come hard because if they don't win this match, they're probably out of the tournament, Paris. I think
Yes.
Punjab might be the second team to be out of the tournament, out of the race
Yeah.
of getting into the playoffs by any chance, even by net run rate. So desperation it is for them, but they really need this right now, and never a better opportunity for their orange cap, challenger KL Rahul today. I think best chance for him. It looks like a place where they can easily get those runs. If the boys from RCB could get them, so can the guys from Punjab because this is their the strongest part about their team, their batting.
Right, right. Now when we come across RCB's bowling, okay, I'm going to take a name of five bowlers that they have. Just look at how different they are from one another. Talking about Dan Christian first, and then there's Maxwell, Chahal, Siraj, and then Patel. All of them so different from each other, aren't they?
Yes, they are. They have they pack a little bit of variety which RCB has not got in the last few years, and that's exactly why they are in this position. I think their bowling has
Yeah.
clicked really well. It's complemented their great batting, and that's what ensured that they could be in on the number three position. So I think they'll be backing themselves, expecting that their bowlers get the best of the best time in the middle, because their batsmen have clearly made the score. Now, if they don't pitch it right or they pitch it how they pitched it, over pitch to guys like Maxwell, if Rahul and Mayank get those balls, it's clearly sailing out because one side of the ground is really small. You can
Yeah.
easily clear it and expect that to happen.
Right there, Salil. So you still going to stick with the prediction of Punjab winning this one?
For their desperation to stay in this tournament, yes, I would want to back them.
Perfect, perfect. Lovely inputs there, Salil. Thank you for all your time. Thank you to all our viewers. We'll catch up in the post match presentation. Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks, Paris.